Hey everyone, this is Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission and I am a 14-year online reseller. And here on my YouTube channel, I talk about all things reselling, thrifting, garage sales, estate sales, anything in those categories. And today, a little bit of a different subject that I'm normally used to talking about, but I have a little story to go along with it. So I must have blacked out. I don't know. I must have. My memory, I will admit, is not the best lately. Thank you to a couple of you who have made some suggestions on some supplements on how I can get this brain working a little bit better. But I feel like I must have missed something because here we go. Here's the story. I've been a reseller since my kids were not even born. I started it when I found out I was pregnant because I wanted a way to be able to support my family that was somewhat flexible because I knew I had to make money, but I also wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So my kids have been around the reselling world for a long time. Like I was literally just talking to a thrift store, a lady that has worked at a thrift store for a super long time, joking about how my kids are now teens because I have been bringing them to that thrift store for 10 years. Like, you know, they used to be wee little tots and now they're gigantic. So they've been in that realm. That's what I do. That's what I've always done, you know. So my one son, actually both of my sons at different times have wanted to flip things or make money somehow. It's like in the blood. The reselling entrepreneurship, I do think can be genetic somehow because my mom and dad both have had their own businesses, side hustles. My mom still has her own business. My sister has her own business. Like I think it's just in the blood. And not to say we're millionaires. We're just like average folks, just having very small businesses, but it's still, you know, in the blood. It's still in the family. So my son has been trying to sell on Whatnot, and they're, including my husband, my sons and my husband are really into baseball cards. So he's been doing a couple live shows trying to sell his baseball cards, and he said, Mom, I need some envelopes and some stamps. And I said, oh, okay, let's figure this out. I send hundreds of packages every month, but I don't normally send anything with a stamp, and definitely not in an envelope. You know, most of my stuff are in poly mailers or boxes, and I buy, obviously, you know, Ground Advantage, Priority Mail, those types of shipping. So I'm not used to envelopes and stamps, right? Like that's like snail mail. We might as well like send a stork or whatever, like put it on a horse and carriage because I'm not used to stamps and envelopes. So he's like, let's go to the post office. Sure, let's do it. This is the topic that I was surprised about. We get up to the post office lady. I have an awesome post office. I'm very blessed to have really nice ladies that work there. And I'm like, oh, he needs some stamps. Oh yeah, you need this many, whatever. I said, yeah, how much is a stamp going for these days anyways? I had no idea. You guys know how much a stamp is going for these days? I feel like I don't know, one of those people is like, back in my day, I remember stamps being like 44 cents. Back in my day. Which I have a graph here. I clearly did not know how many recent stamp increases there have been. The price of a stamp right now, a forever stamp, one stamp, is 73 cents. And then she goes on to tell me in a month or a week, they're going up to 78 cents for one stamp. You want to send one little envelope. You know, my son sends sometimes multiple cards in one envelope, so we do need a couple stamps. And I did not even realize how high the price of stamps have gotten. Did you guys know this? 78 cents for one stamp. Now I do have a graph that I pulled up, and I was like, I could have swore it was only like 50 cents, like not that long ago. And granted, whatever, it's just a quarter. Life moves on. There's always price changes. I've talked about on here before, Priority Mail all of the USPS pricing pretty much goes up at least once a year, if not twice a year, for the last 5 to 10 years. Like that, it just happens, and there's nothing we can do about it. However, I was a little bit right, because I was like, this seemed, I don't remember it being in the 70 cents range, 78 cents. So I did look it up. They were 55 cents in 2019 and into 2020. So now it's 2025. So in 5 years, the stamp has gone up, well, will be about 23 cents, which I guess is almost like a 50%, 40% increase in just that amount of time. Which again, it doesn't seem like much. I mean, sometimes that's how I feel like they get you. You're like, oh, it's just a few pennies. And then 5 years go by and you're like, what? It went up like 40%? I guess I'm not sending out Christmas cards, huh? Because that expense in itself is going to be a lot. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting. I had this little story. My post office lady, her name's Val, was like, yeah, I know, it's 78 cents. Like, even she was like, it's gone up quite a bit. It's not what you think it used to be. I'm looking at this graph because I looked up what the prices used to be and where they were. Like, of course, like, okay, let's say 1990, right? I'm older than 1990, but in 1990, it was 25 cents. It went up to 33 cents, which is like 8 cents in 2000. So that's 10 years. It went up 8 cents. 2010, it went to 44. 2019, it went to 55. And into 2020, it was 55 cents. And now in 2025, it's going to be 78 cents per one stamp. I guess if you buy those forever stamps, you know, they're good for forever, right? So if you do that route, then you could keep them, you know, for 5-10 years. I also understand the market changes, the industry changes. People are going paperless. There's probably a lot less mail, right, in the mailboxes, because bills, a lot of people are just going paperless. They opt to not have their bills sent to them, which means, I guess, in a very simplistic way of thinking about it, they are making less money because people are sending less in the mail as far as paper goes and stamps. Although I have done, like I said, videos here about USPS. It used to be called First Class Mail, and now it's the Ground Advantage, has gone up year after year. I've been sending packages, clothing packages, for going on 15 years. And I remember sending shirts for like $2, $2.30, you know, and that then over the years, you know, now you can barely send most of my very low ounces, like my small stuff. I sent a bra today. It was still like $4.70, and it's like 4 ounces in this tiny size. So that used to be in the 1s and 2s easily, but that's, you know, that's business. I know it. There's nothing we can do about it. It's been happening for years. I totally agree. But I was personally surprised at what the stamp was going for. I guess I had been living in the dark and just not paying attention, because I did not know. I was like, what? I was going to get, how many comes in a roll? I said, oh, let's just get a roll and I'll just keep them, you know, whenever we need them, or if he needs them for sending his baseball cards in the mail. 78 cents. Which he can really only do one that way. I think there's also a thing like with the baseball card, there's like a hard case thing sometimes. So then you're starting to get to a couple ounces. I think he has to put 2 or 3 on it. I'm still kind of learning about it. My husband has been doing a little bit, and I don't completely know or understand. And to be honest, I know some of you are on Whatnot. I've watched lots of Whatnots. I've never done my own Whatnot show. I have done so many things in my reselling career. I have had a brick and mortar store. I have had a booth at an antique store. I have had a booth at a consignment place. I have done Amazon. I have done eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, Mercari. I mean, I bought storage units. I've done all kinds of things in my life. I have not gotten onto the Whatnot game yet. I know people make a lot of money off of it. You guys chime in. First of all, did you guys know that the stamp was this high? If you make it to these my boring videos of, I don't even know, I don't know if this is helpful in any way, but did you guys know? Did you know it was 78 cents? Or am I just crazy? But also, what avenues have you done Whatnot yet? Do you like it? I know people are killing it and Whatnot. Like, I'm not denying that. I'm not saying anything bad about Whatnot. I just have not done it yet. I have a couple different avenues of selling, and I don't know how I would manage that. I would have to figure it out, like maybe only certain inventory, like certain hauls I would do up on Whatnot. You know, maybe this is something I should think about. Should I throw in Whatnot into, you know, like maybe just stuff I buy at the bins and just see? I don't know. Maybe that's something I should think about. I would have to come up with a business model though, because I have a whole thing, and I'm pointing over here because it's my storage area and I have bins. My stuff is organized. So if I had a Whatnot, I would have to I would think maybe the bins would maybe be the best option, and just have some inventory just for Whatnot. And then if it doesn't sell, then maybe put it on eBay. If you guys are on Whatnot or have done Whatnot, tell me what your guys's strategy is there, or your business model. I would love to know, because maybe this is something I should add into my reselling world, my business. Is it lucrative for you? Do you have a strategy? What do you find works best? I would love to hear any of this discussion, because I really am in the dark. My sons have watched hundreds of baseball card, football card shows. I mean, I'm happy. It's fun for them, so it's fine. But I don't really know a lot. Like, I would have to come up with a strategy. But anyways, the video was just because I was surprised when my sweet son asked for stamps that they were 78 cents a piece. So if you do two, right, if you need two to send a baseball card, that's like over $1.50, right? Kind of crazy to think, just like this little tiny envelope with a tiny little baseball card. Anyways, all right, I hope you guys are doing very well. You know I love you and appreciate all your support. And of course, there'll be more videos coming. I just did an awesome garage sale haul. If you do not watch that video, that's one of my best hauls, garage sale hauls, possibly ever. Really cool items. Of course, I always have more what solds coming, but I do like kind of throwing in these other videos that aren't just like the everyday. It's like what sold, thrift haul, what sold, garage haul. So I am trying to throw those in, and hopefully something's helpful or informative in some way. I hope you're, oh, and the last thing, I apologize. I am like a tomato again. It's finally hot here in Wisconsin, and this Wisconsin body was not prepared. So Hot Mess Express, like always. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.